Good morning, college and high school football fans, and welcome to 3 and Out College Edition right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. What's going on, everybody? Did you miss us? It's been a week, but I'll tell you, it's been a fun week. We got all kinds of cool stuff going on in the world of college and high school football. I'll tell you, since we left off, well, high school football, we are now entering that second round. My goodness. The top teams remain the top teams. I mean, do you think much was going to change during the playoffs? No upsets yet to be seen, but one team does go down. Was it a top team? Or did they lose to just a team that was, well, pretty darn equal, just a little better? We'll talk about that Southern California showdown last night. Also, we got much to get into talking about that 3C2A. Today, we got a few battles that may just change everything. If things just happen to go slightly left, slightly right, we don't know. But we got some good stuff coming up. NJCAA, oh my goodness, today, the MACCC Championship has a lot of playoff say. NAIA football, it's a sleepy week coming up, but my goodness, we salute you, Dort. Also, D3, D2, FCS, FBS coming your way. You are now tuned in live to 3 and Out College Edition, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at iSports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making iSports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. IE Sports Radio, y'all. Your direct feed for all that is sports. We're freaking everywhere, man. Do you see all this going down the scroll? Do you understand? Do you comprehend that we're everywhere? Oh, yes. We, IE Sports Radio, man, doing our thing for the last 10 years, man. Just delivering. It's like we're popping out 10, maybe you can do the Des. That's okay, y'all. It's okay. I'm just saying, man, we've been around. I feel like a classic radio station popping out the hits since, you know what I mean? Like popping out these hits since 2014, sorry. But we're everywhere, y'all. Once again, appreciate you guys for everything, man. If you've been a part of the journey for the last 10 years, 5 years, maybe this is your first show, I don't know, but we appreciate you so very much. Thank you guys for being here, showing love. You can see down here, of course, all the places to follow us: YouTube, the X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Really quick, just in case you guys don't know, Blue Sky is freaking legit. We will be on there soon. Well, I'm on there now. This is a cool app, guys. It really is. Like the rebirth of Twitter. What? Okay, so we're going to have some fun with that one pretty soon here. The show will be on there and everything. But cool little deal there. Also, y'all, make sure you check us out. All these platforms down here. Check out the audio, man. We are all over the place. Apple, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, all that good stuff, man. And of course, make sure to check us out, man, on our website, iesportsradio.com. All that good stuff you just heard me say on the drop. Check us out. Show some love. We appreciate you. So, with that said, man, let's get into our show today, because we got to show love to our co-host, of course, man. He, of course, is the host of the SoCal Spring Sports Show. Had a great show yesterday, man. He's always my fun ride home on Fridays, man, coming home from work. Teran does not disappoint, man. Entertaining show. Big ups to my boy Teran, man. He is, of course, the host of the SoCal Spring Sports Show, the host of Set Point. Incredible volleyball show, man. Awesome guest. He had a great guest on. Mr. Daryl Trujillo was on last week. Really, really, really cool, man. Great interview. Great stuff as always. If you love volleyball, man, we cover everything football here. If you love everything volleyball, we got a show for everybody, y'all. We're like Baskin Robbins, man. We got flavors. We didn't even stop at 31. We got flavors for everybody. So, but of course, Set Point and the co-host of this show, Three-Night College Edition. Ladies and gentlemen, IE Sports Radio Hall of Famer, Teran Rodriguez. What's going on, brother? How you doing today, man?
Hey, Larry. Doing pretty good. Ready to talk some college football with you, as well as some high school football. Yeah, it looks like I've also got a little bit of crow to eat as well.
It's okay. Crow is good if you season it. No, I've done it a couple times. It's okay. So, of course, check us out, man. Give us a follow right here. Okay, make sure you check us out. 3 and Out, CEIE, all spelled out. Of course, you can follow my boy Teran over here. Yep, this guy right there, or over there. That guy right there. Teran Rodriguez 1. You can follow me over there. Be at the THEE_LB53. Show us some love, guys. We appreciate you all so very much. I got my coffee in the famous Jurassic Park cup. Just so you know, Teran, I've gotten like tweets about this thing. It's kind of funny. I thank you guys for Jurassic Park. Like, yeah. I just wanted to say, you guys are awesome, man. It just goes to show you guys are listening to the show. Thank you guys for being here once again, as always, and I just appreciate y'all showing love and being here in the chat and listening wherever you are. Like Teran says, if you're listening live, you're listening to the recording, if you're listening wherever you are in the world, we thank you, we appreciate you, and that's how it goes. So, T-Rod, let's get this party started, man. Thank you guys again for jumping on in. Thanks for the chat already. Miss Jen B is already on Mount Union because, yeah, they won the OAC for like the 85th time in a row. It's not a surprise. I mean, Teran, you and I right now can put money down that they're going to win it next year, and they're going to win it next year. So, I mean, I'm just saying, no one's going to stop Mount Union right now because, Teran, some Raiders have to be good.
Some Raiders do.
Some. And some of them have to be dominant. And well, that's not the Vegas Raiders. That is the Purple Raiders of Mount Union. So, yes, some Raiders have to be good. So, well, Marietta, man, we're going to talk about these guys in a little bit because that was a hell of a game, man. Division III football, of course, Gen B is talking about. I'll jump in really quick to the FBS recap, Teran. Last week was something else, wasn't it, man? Some of these games were just crazy. Obviously, Teran, I just have to answer. I have to ask this question, man, because you saw that first game that just went by, and it's going to come back right now on the ticker. But yesterday or last week, I asked you a question, and well, I think Georgia Tech answered that question, Teran. Is the U back?
No. I tried to tell y'all Georgia Tech had a chance to beat Miami. If they ran the ball down the throat of Miami, they would win. And sure enough, Georgia Tech had like 270-ish yards and pretty much controlled the clock. So I tell you, well, I told you so, but I told you so.
It's like the highest, man. Hate to say I told you so. All right.
The scary thing was that Georgia Tech didn't even have one player crack 100 plus rushing yards. They had 271 rushing yards on the night.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. But I will tell you, Teran, it just goes to show you, dude. The U, look, we are not haters. We're not hating on the U. It's just the fact that the U, once again, delusional fans get too crazy, and the U's back, the U's back. You guys, the U has had a paper freaking toilet paper
Mickey
soft
Mouse
schedule. Mickey Mouse, and if they're playing teams, okay, they're playing teams, and I get that. But
you can only play who's on your schedule.
Yeah, bro. You're playing all these teams you could beat. I mean, all these teams that aren't going to give you no chance. And then they go to number 4, the nerve. As Marcus Those Great would say, the nerve of that committee. Just because they're winning games, bro. They're beating Norfolk State. Stop it. Stop it. Like, stop it. You stop it right now. Anyway, there. A couple other games. Number 16, Ole Miss, man, Downs, Georgia. Was that a surprise to you? Or because we talked about this last week being could be a pretty good game. Is that really a surprise to you? Or are you like, I don't know. What do you think about that game?
Yeah, it wasn't really too big of a surprise. I mean, Georgia Tech even had a running back throw a touchdown. But, yeah, Miami, the scary thing is that Cam Ward threw for 3 touchdowns and had over 300 passing yards with no interception. So I don't know where Miami went wrong, but how do you fumble the bag? But it just goes to show that paper soft schedule really caught up to them.
Paper soft. I mean, I guess once again, that's its own deal. But Kansas over number 17, Iowa. That was a shocker to me, dude, because the Jayhawks look like crap all year long, and they pull out a victory over Iowa State. Iowa State is not the greatest team in the world, but they're number 17 for a reason. Teran, that one really surprised me.
Yeah, that was kind of a shocker right there, just because Kansas, they haven't been flashy all season, as you mentioned, but it was such a big surprise, just because Iowa State, they had a chance to probably get closer and closer to the Big 12 championship, but now it's out of their hands.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it just goes to show you, man, like, you got to play every damn game. You have to. You cannot half-ass any game. So Saturday Night Football was a gem. It really was, because it was a gem for the wrong reason. Because it shows Alabama's still very much Alabama, but only when Alabama wants to be Alabama. And LSU, for some reason, wasn't LSU. I mean, it was a gem to kind of laugh at. I don't know. The point I'm trying to make is it's not a gem at all. But the game just showed that, I don't know, man. It was weird. It was a weird game to watch, because I'm like, where in the hell is this LSU that's been pretty good all season? Like, where are you guys? Who is this Alabama team that hasn't even been that good? It showed desperation for sure from Alabama, and it showed that LSU didn't even want to be there. I don't know, Taryn. This was a weird football game, dude.
Yeah, and I can't believe I picked LSU to win this one. So, yeah, it just feels like LSU just doesn't have that it factor against certain teams, against certain ranked teams. But Bama, they deserve a lot of credit for going on the road and pulling out the dub. And Jalen Milroe, he was fantastic. He had 4 rushing touchdowns, 185 rushing yards. Dude was on fire. It seems like all Alabama running backs just are so legit. A.K.A. Derrick Henry,
Yeah.
to name one. Then you also got, he's on the Steelers. He's not,
Najee
but
Harris.
I'm blanking on his name.
Najee Harris.
Yeah, Najee Harris.
Dude, these backs are legit, man. I mean, I don't know. Oh, yeah. T5, of course, picking his LSU Tigers. Oh, boy. Well, yeah, today's show should be fun. Sorry, T5. But yeah, it's, I mean, I don't know. LSU just didn't. They forgot how to play football, or didn't know they forgot they had a game. I don't know, but they look like crap, man. There was no damn defense. It was a weird football, because usually that's a mean ass rivalry. Usually that game is nasty and it's hard hitting and it's fun. This looked like a regular old football game that was like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, this didn't have anything whatsoever that was like, oh yeah, rivalry, fun. And what I'm so mad at, Darren, so freaking mad at, is the fact that this freaking game was the first Saturday night game that was actually like good, like built up. Like, this was just, how in the hell do we keep getting like Michigan State versus Illinois? Like, what the hell is that? Like, we want the heavy hitters, man. Let's flex this, please, somebody. And we finally get a game where it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fun, man. This is gonna be I don't know, let me think of a good rivalry. This is gonna be the Steelers and Ravens. Oh yeah, and then it was a dud. Like, this,
Yep.
Right. I mean,
Brian Kelly has got a lot of explaining to do.
oh, how about his future, Taryn? I mean, just be real. What are you thinking right now?
It's not looking too bright. Well, what I will say is LSU looks a little better than the USC loss, but still, they just can't seem to get out of their own way.
No, they can't. And yeah, I don't know. LSU has some goddamn problems, man. Alabama, though, at least looks a little fresher, so good for those guys. Virginia knocks off Pittsburgh. Taryn, Pittsburgh may be great in women's volleyball, but they were good in college football, and then they just slipped, and now they lost to Virginia. Taryn, I don't know what to say about Pittsburgh right now. I want to say good positive things, but I can't. At this point,
they've lost 2 in a row now, so you kind of have to wonder: will they still be the ones representing the ACC, or will it be someone else? Will it be Clemson? Because Miami probably is going to be a surefire lock.
What was that, Taryn? Surefire loss? Surefire loss? LOSS. Did I hear you right, Taryn? Loss. They're going to lose in the first round. What?
Oh, no. I was referring to the other team facing Miami.
I know, dude. I know. But yeah, no, I get you, dude. From what I don't know. From what I see, though, Pittsburgh, you had it. You blew it. Football is hard, man. You got to win every game. You got to win the games. You have to. So
it's a tough industry, as one of my buddies would say.
Oh, for sure. It's oh my gosh, it's nasty, man. You don't get a break for this game. This game, you lose one game, that could be it. So, and especially in college football, it's so cutthroat. I know the 12-team playoff is here now, but it still depends on who you get seeded against. And then, of course, Taryn, last week, the Holy War, man. Number 9 BYU barely beating Utah. Now to me, that was like the Saturday night game to me. That was way better than LSU in Bama for sure, dude. How about that, man? Utah gave those cats all they could handle.
Yeah, especially when they exploded for 21 points in the second quarter. But gotta give credit to BYU. They narrowly escaped. They were able to pitch a second half shutout, and BYU should be counting their lucky stars that they were able to survive. So it looks like the Big 12 championship is probably going to be them and somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a few teams. I have a few teams in mind, but we'll get to that a little bit later.
Oh yeah, I think I agree with those teams already, Teran, without even knowing who you're picking. So, yeah, Teran. So last week was it was fun, man. Any other games in the FBS last week that you want to bring up that were surprising, fun, good, and any upsets that you want to bring up that I didn't? Any other games that were just like, yeah, we thought so? Oh no, you go ahead. What do you think?
Ole Miss beating Georgia was pretty impressive. Jackson Dart looked solid for the Rebels. Indiana getting to 10 wins. They're 10-0, edging out Michigan. That was big right there. The toilet bowl, that was Notre Dame versus Florida State that we all had to see on national TV via NBC.
Why?
That went as expected. Colorado, we talk about teams from the Big 12. This team might be the one to possibly come out of the Big 12 or to make it to the Big 12 championship. As we might have to think about considering Coach Prime for Coach of the Year. Believe it or not.
I'm with it, Coach.
Missouri edged out Oklahoma, which I don't think anyone would have expected. Army beat North Texas in a nice low-scoring battle. Rutgers finally picked up a win. It seemed like forever since they last won. Looks like UConn also won, but they're not undefeated anymore. So we don't care about them. And that is pretty much that. Yeah, nothing really worth noting other than the fact that, yeah, that's it. I'm looking ahead to next week.
Well, Teran, that's a for sure deal. On to next week we go. But I will say, man, that top 25, man, it hasn't. Well, where is it at? I just found it and now I lost it. Okay, there we go. Top 25 for right now, Teran. Taking a look at this thing. All right, is it anything out of the ordinary? Look at this thing, man. Obviously, you got Oregon, who's just leading the charge. They're getting down and dirty, 10-0 on the season. Let's go. Ohio State right behind. Once again, you knew they'd be up there. Same thing, Texas, Penn State, Indiana. It's amazing to see them get to where they are now. They're number 5 in the country. I would have never in a million years thought Indiana would be up there. And I'm talking about never, like ever, like no, like I cheered for Indiana one time. That was one of my former teammates in 2010, Justin Rayside, who made it to Indiana. And I was like, oh, I'll cheer for the Hoosiers for a little bit, man. You know what I mean? One of my teammates, man. But yeah, dude. I've never really cheered for Indiana. Never been so hopeful for them. But this year, I'm like, yeah, let's go, dude. BYU, Tennessee, Notre Dame, Miami, fell in number 9. Alabama's back at number 10. I mean, Teran, look at that. Georgia fell to 12. Freaking Boise State is up to 13. the prime Buffaloes are at 17. I mean, Teran, that's a pretty good top 25 right now.
Yeah, it is. Even Tulsa squeaked into the top 25.
That's
the
crazy.
SEC seems to be quite represented in the top 25, as you got quite a number of teams ranked, as I think they have the most of any Power 4 conference. So that's kind of something to note right there.
That's pretty crazy, dude. But yeah, the top 25, it looks, like I said, this right now. Okay, now this is a good question. Obviously, this is going to change around a little bit, but this top 25 and the top 12 that make it in, I mean, I'm pretty damn sure, we're going to see almost all of these teams making into that top 25. I mean, that top 12 bracket.
Yeah, I agree. Unless we get a lot of chaos toward the end of the season.
Yeah, I think all these teams should win out. There's no reason why they shouldn't win out. I mean, it doesn't really make much sense if they don't win out. All these teams look good. I mean, we'll get to all these coming up. But regardless, here's your current top 25. We are almost done, guys. Thanksgiving is really it, because after that we get the freaking championships. And then that's it. We're right into bowl season pretty much after that. So starting things up. So, Teran, here we go, man. I'll tell you, this right here makes me smile. Army still hanging in there at 9-0, 24 in the country. Let's go, Army. I don't even care. I am so happy that they're up there. So, all right, Teran. Well, there we have it. That top 25. Let's take ourselves a quick break. When we come back, man, we got some crazy high school football, man. It's going to be some fun getting into that top 10 of the country. You are listening to 3 and Out College Edition right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Be right back with some national high school football after this.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's up, New York? This is Ricky K coming at you at the NY State of Sports, a new show here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Listen to me every Thursday afternoon as we bring you the latest takes on the Yankees, Mets, Jets, Giants, Knicks, Nets, Rangers, Devils, and Islanders. Plus, you get some college hoops and what's the local sports events going on in the area. It's a state that never sleeps, so why not get the opinions and sports takes that never sleep? Again, every Thursday, 2 p.m. to the NY State of Sports. We'll see you then.
Oh, we're back, and we're jamming, baby. We're jamming. You got that sweet jazz. You got Teran over here playing the sax. Oh, get it, Teran. Get it, bro. Oh, he's getting it now, man. Y'all don't know Teran, man. He does everything. Did I mention he's a jazz extraordinaire? I mean, Teran does it all, man. Crazy. He's like a Kirby vacuum. He does everything but wash the dishes, and he washes the dishes too. So Teran does it all. I see you. Yeah, that's right. Tip the cap, man. You can even do the baseball cap wave. You know yeah. That's our boy Teran, man. Appreciate you. Once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in, being a part of the show, man. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much, times a million. What's good, everybody? Tune in on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Once again, check us out, man. Show some love, subscribe, like everywhere, freaking everywhere. X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe there, everywhere. Our website, all over the place. Our custom-made page. We're freaking everywhere, Teran. We're everywhere. Apple Podcast, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Yeah. We are everywhere. Give us a follow. Show us some love. Thank you so much for it. All right. So here we go, man. Of course, this show is soon to be on here because Blue Sky is cool. Okay. So, of course, big ups and thank you to everybody for tuning in, being a part of it. Let's get into some high school football, y'all, because, oh, my goodness gracious. Teran, this top 20, this top 10 is fun. Yeah, modern day here, 10-0, man. They got it done last night. Oh my gosh, they just look good. Beating Sierra Canyon. Sierra Canyon basically never had a chance, man. I don't even know how it was 33 points. It could have been more. Just destroying Sierra Canyon here in Southern California, man. Number one team in the country in modern day, getting it done. Then you have here number 2 team, Milton out of Georgia. They got it done, man. Just destroying Woodstock in that first round. You know where they're going, guys. These guys are playing for that state title. Duncanville finished off their regular season last night, actually, defeating Temple 49-7. My goodness. Bishop Gorman, last year's defending champions. Like I said, this year, I don't think they're going to be defending that crown, but still, first round of the playoffs, blowing out Liberty 49-3. Carrollton, also out of Georgia, they get it done, beating Decula 46-7 in that first round. North Shore out of Houston, Texas, is defeating Deer Park 56-13. So as you can see, they're all going the same exact way, except for a few of these. Okay, and well, this is where it gets kind of odd because, well, first of all, we got St. John Bosco, which we will talk about that game in a few moments, but Mount Zion Prep, I don't really know. They're like IMG Academy and St. Francis are very similar. They don't really have their freelance or whatever they call it, so they don't really have a conference. So I don't know if this is playoffs or I guess another game. For St. Francis Academy, I have no idea. But Mount Zion Prep, they'll be playing soon, to be announced. It says on Max Prep, so I don't know. But then, okay, so let me get to these 2 SoCal games. And by the way, number 10, North Crowley, they are playing in the first round of the playoffs. Byron Nelson looks like today. So best luck to both those teams. But then you have number 7, St. John Bosco, of course, formerly number 2 and 3, I believe, team this year. This team is always that thorn in the side of modern day. Well, guess what, guys? Trinity League action. They kept it going last night, man. And Santa Margarita had their number. St. John Bosco, they'll pull this thing out 31-29. Hell of a game here by those Braves to defeat Santa Margarita in that first round of that CIF Open playoff. And then, of course, Mission Viejo, man, number 9. Down goes number 9, but they lose to number 23, man. Of course, good old Corona Centennial, the football factory, man. Coach Logan rallied his troops. They were down in this game with like minutes to go. They found a way to score to win this dang game, 25-20. They win it, knocking off number 9 Mission Viejo. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first team in this top 10 into the playoffs has been eliminated, and here comes Corona Centennial. So, Teran, take it away, man.
Yeah, this was an instant classic. This was billed as the Public School California Super Bowl, which was pretty incredible. And this one definitely lived up to the hype. As you mentioned, Centennial got off to a little bit of a slow start, but they started to work their way back. They led 19-10 at halftime. Then Mission Viejo rounded off 10 unanswered, including 3 points after a fumble. So they went up 20-19, but then Husan Longstreet answered with a touchdown run. And eventually that Corona Centennial defense clamped down on Mission Viejo. Mission Viejo has one of the better offenses maybe in the country. And Centennial was able to put the clamp down on them. And I think this might have been the fewest points that Mission Viejo has scored all season, just because they've scored at least 20 in all their games. Well, at least more than 20 in all their games. But yeah, this loss was rather surprising because I actually picked Mission Viejo to win, and I do apologize to Centen Nation for picking against y'all. But yeah, the 20 points were actually the fewest points scored by Mission Viejo this season. So I gotta give it up to Corona Centennial. They start off slow. They had those first 2 losses to Modern Day and Santa Margarita, but then they haven't lost ever since, and it's partially because Husan Longstreet is so darn good. Dude is going to Texas A&M, and I think Modern Day, if they think they're going to be walking into this matchup thinking that's gonna be an easy matchup, they have another thing coming. It's so tough to beat a team twice in one season, but you have to give it up to Corona Centennial. It was such a big win for them, and this is probably one of those marquee wins, which can definitely boost a team's morale.
Without a doubt, Teran. It's crazy to think, right? That oh my gosh, how you can't put it past Corona Centennial, man. It's the football factory. You know, I mean, they pumped out so much talent in the past. I mean, Mission Viejo, without a doubt, they're amazing. Okay, they've produced some stars. Anybody heard of Mark Sanchez? Okay, he played there. All right, but then you take a look at Centennial, and you got some beasts there. I mean, look, when it comes down to it, both of these teams, both of these staffs, Teran, it sucks to see somebody leave.
Yep.
Like I hate it. I hate that, that we have to see that. But it's all good. I mean, hey, next season. But I'll tell you, man, it's been pretty fun though. I mean, so right now looking at these open playoffs in Southern California at least, the Division 1. Next week is gonna be a doozy, man. Modern Day and Centennial. I don't think anybody's beating Modern Day.
Yeah, even with Tucson Longstreet, I don't know if Centennial will beat them. They'll probably keep it close, but I think Modern Day is a much better team because there were a few points against Sierra Canyon where it was close, but I just see Modern Day just running through Centennial, and that's no disrespect to Corona Centennial. I think they're a fantastic team, but against a juggernaut like Modern Day, even with their starting quarterback.
Oh yeah.
I think that it's going to be tough sledding for sure.
Yeah, Teran. I mean, they met up in week 1 of the season back on August 22nd, and it was 42-25, at the San Annabelle. I mean, the good old Modern Day got it done, and I don't know if it's going to be any different. But so top 4 in Southern California, man. Modern Day and Centennial going head to head next week. Orange Lutheran taking on St. John Bosco. That is going to be a good one, man, because I'm not saying that St. John Bosco is slipping. I'm saying that Olu is getting better.
Oh yeah. Now their matchup against JCR was rather interesting. They jumped out to a 28-0 lead. JCR rattles off 20 unanswered points in the third quarter, but then they get shut out in the fourth quarter, and Olu manages to basically win the game from there. So it was basically the 3 different tales of a few parts of the game for Olu. And you're right. I think Olu definitely has a great shot at beating Bosco just because Bosco narrowly escaped against Santa Margarita, even though Santa Margarita did have most of its playmakers. But TJ Lateef is the real deal. Dude is going to Nebraska, and I feel that Olu might, even though it's going to be at Bosco, I feel Olu has learned its lessons. I feel they've taken their licks and wounds, and I think they'll be ready for Bosco.
I agree. I completely agree. It's gonna be a fun down the stretch, man. I love, and I'm talking about absolutely love the fact that we have all this action going on. It's always the funnest during Thanksgiving or close to Thanksgiving, man, because here we come. And like I said, that's why today, of course, the show's title, Here Comes the Fun, because we're getting down to that nitty gritty, man. We're getting down to the best of the best schools going head to head in college playoffs. We're getting ready for the tournament to be set up for Division 3 and the NEIA, and Division 2 right now. The NJCAA is boiling down to its end. I mean, we're getting it, man. I mean, November is fun. November is a lot of fun.
Especially when you're practicing during Thanksgiving. That's the most fun, just because if you're practicing during Thanksgiving, that's when you know you've made it far in terms of the postseason.
Exactly. You're a team full of dudes if you made it that far, and that's it. I mean, I remember back in high school, I had a coach that always said, "I'm canceling my Thanksgiving plans this year, guys. I know that we're gonna make." I mean, really, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You got football players playing amazing games. You got wrestlers cutting weight. Because getting ready to wrestle pretty soon. But I guess it all goes together because a lot of wrestlers are football players and vice versa. But anyway, man. So it should be fun here. Big ups to everybody who's there. Bishop Gorman, these guys, I think they're gonna roll to another state title, Teran. Nobody in Nevada is gonna challenge these guys. I'm pretty sure they're just gonna cruise on through. I don't see anything changing there in the state of Nevada because they're so freaking talented. Duncanville, I don't want to just give them the title, but come on, man. They beat DeSoto this year. I wish that they could play North Shore. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I want them to, because my gosh, like, they're so damn talented, both of these teams. But Yeah, I'm pretty sure Duncanville is going to be cruising to another title there. But like I said, we're going to keep an eye on all these. Milton, I think they're going to be rolling on their way to another title. Carrollton, I hope they max up with Carrollton somewhere in there. Oh, that would be a lot of fun. But anyway, man, so there you go. Some high school football, man. Anything else you want to throw in there before we switch on over to some college?
Well, I just gotta say I'm heartbroken for Mission Viejo. Obviously, it's so tough to lose in the playoffs altogether. I expected them to possibly get to the semifinals, but they ran into a buzzsaw in Corona Centennial, who was ready to go defensively. So this is kind of where I wish Mission Viejo had gotten the 3 seed. I feel they might have been deserving of the 3 seed, but obviously Olu playing Bishop Gorman really swung the momentum, and this might be a once-in-a-lifetime team from Mission Viejo. Like, this is a team that we might not see ever again, putting together a great resume like they did, beating teams like Basha, Santa Margarita, running through the Alpha League. But I feel Mission Viejo will be back. It just might not be the same team like this year. Like, this year's team just was able to put up points, get stops, and look mean and nasty, kind of like the Bob Johnson days. But I think Mission Viejo will be back, and I feel for the seniors on this year's Mission Viejo team, but their work and dedication will not go unnoticed. It never went unnoticed. And for next year's players, I hope they're able to pick up where this year's team's left off.
Well said, Teran. No, well said. That was beautifully said. Because it's the truth, man. These teams, man, yeah, your heart breaks for them when they lose, because you know that it's like in the NFL. You've heard it from plenty of coaches, man. This team will never be the same again, right? It'll always be different because somebody's leaving, someone's going here, someone's coming in. So you could be close, but you'll never have that same team ever again.
Yep.
You know, especially in high school and college, because, well, as you get older, you just go up. So in the NFL, well, you can get guys back because there is no, you know what I mean? But in these days, that's it, man. I think of at the end of high school football seasons, when anybody's season ends, like Mission Viejo, I think of that Friday Night Lights scene at the end where Billy Bob Thornton is pulling off the names of the depth chart and dropping them, you know?
Yep.
It's a heartbreaker, man, because I remember I remember that. I remember seeing the blank depth chart without my name on it and all of my you know what I mean, my senior year in the coach's office. I mean, it hurts because you're like, this is it. That was the last time they're going to use my name. You know, it's it. It's over. And these guys, it's the same thing. You know, it's the last time. So, but hey, they're going to bigger, better places, and hats off to all of them. Awesome stuff, man. Let's go high school football. Keep it going, Teran.
Yeah, and especially since Mission Viejo had one of the longest winning streaks in Southern California by a public school, and in California altogether, along with Modern Day.
Which is awesome, dude. Think about how what a great feat that is. They'll always have that.
Yeah, they made history, and I think they'll be back sooner rather than later. It just might take a little time, but Mission Viejo never rebuilds; they reload, and that's kind of the difficulty of playing in Division I, because you kind of get a little punished for your success and whatnot. But at the very least, we got an entertaining game between Centennial and Mission Viejo. All right.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to the 3C2A.
We are good, bro. But 3C2A action comes. Teran, what the hell happened? Pasadena's 9-0. In case you didn't notice, Teran, the Lancers of Pasadena are sneaking up. They are Teran, they're just sneaking. They're tiptoeing around the corner and going like this. They're hiding behind trees and sneaking up. Teran, Pasadena, dude. I remember when we played them, they had some dudes, man. We beat them, but damn it, they were good, Teran. They had some dudes in those mid-2000s. And Pasadena and the Lancers, man, I love their field was fun to play on. I like their stadium. I really think that Pasadena, man, they've really turned a corner, and I love it. I love the fact that this team is 9-0 right now. I haven't seen a Pasadena. Teran, I don't think I've ever seen a Pasadena team at 9-0 ever.
They're very under the radar, and I only wish they could be in consideration for the playoffs, but unfortunately, them's the breaks, and they only take a handful of teams.
He said them's the breaks. These are the breaks. It's the truth, Teran. It's the truth, man. I wish they could be higher up there, and oh man, it sucks, man, because you see these teams, they bust their ass, man. You know what I mean? In colleges, the college grind. I love high school, and we talk about high school, but these young men are in for some stuff, man. Because it's true, like I told you before, Teran, the grind. Unless you're playing another sport, which you really don't play another sport sometimes in college. Sometimes you might if you're freakishly good at the other sport, but really, man, the grind starts in January. You know what I mean? So you're busting your hump since January. The burnout is real right now. It's getting the fatigue is really setting in. You still got to go play and make that last push to the playoff or make that last push for a bowl game. And you put so much in. It really sucks to know that you put so much in and you're undefeated, but you probably won't get a shot because you're not in that top 4. That's a bummer.
Yeah, you can only play the teams on your slated schedule, so it just sucks. But it's kind of like Pasadena kind of reminds me of the UCF team that finished undefeated and finished number 5 in the nation and was on the outside looking in of that college football playoff. So, yeah, that's kind of looking like Pasadena right now. Nothing against them, obviously. No disrespect, obviously, but it's kind of looking eerily the same way.
Well said, Teran. Well said. But, dude, they knocked off Glendale, not so far neighbors away, 12-0 last week in a very defensive game. What's that?
They bangled them.
They bangled them. Good one, Teran. Number 2, Riverside. We talked about this being a good matchup last week, and, well, they took care of San Diego Mesa, man. 62-41. I was watching that game on YouTube. Mesa had a good plan, man. They came out. They were running the damn ball a lot. They were doing a lot of good stuff. But Riverside is just overpowering, dude. This defensive line is so talented. They have an amazing set of linebackers who play sideline to sideline. Those dang DBs aren't too shabby themselves. Teran, that defense, they played well. But for somebody to put up 41 points on that defense, I mean, it's happened this year. Riverside has given up some good amount of points. But what I'm saying, like Saddleback, they have. So, like I said, these teams are good. It's just, well, Riverside's a little bit better. But you look at the offense, Teran. Coach Kraft loves building his juggernaut offenses, dude. I mean, when we were there, we were blowing teams out by freaking 30 and 40. But this is just a monumental offensive machine, Teran. And look at that, putting up 62. Because his philosophy is very simple. We just got to score more points.
Yep.
And they score plenty of points. So, yeah, Teran, that was a big victory there for Riverside. Butte gets a victory over Feather River. Why is that significant? Because Butte's in that top 4, I believe. Mount Sac, man, defeating Long Beach. Oh, man, if there was ever a team to pull down to pull down Mount Sac, it was Long Beach. I think that ship has sailed. I think Mount Sac, well, not so fast as
They've
Lee
got
Corso.
one more big game.
They got one more. I stand corrected, Teran. But then the last one I put down there, Elko, man. El Camino taking on Ventura. Teran, we talked about Ventura slipping and falling like DMX, slipping, falling. I can't get up. I mean, Teran, yeah, I think this is it, man. Elko knocked off Ventura. That was basically
overtime.
In overtime, 45-38. I think that was it. We talked about that game being the game to like stay in the top 10 and be relevant, at least for a bowl game. Teran, I think that's it, man. I think Ventura, you can close the lid on Ventura this year. The Pirates, man, they were good for a couple of years. Unfortunately, they're going to fall back a little bit. Elko did take that, but tough go for Ventura, man.
Yeah, this was an instant classic. El Camino really came alive in that fourth quarter, scoring 21 points. I think this was an overall great game. El Camino had a great game plan in the second half, and you have to give it up for El Camino. They really executed perfectly down the stretch. This was just one of those overall great games where you wish it would never end, but El Camino just had a little more gas in the tank to win this one.
Oh yeah, Elko came out, man. Hats off to those guys. I mean, I remember playing them in Murdoch Stadium. I mean, these guys and at RCC at home, but these guys are good, man. These guys are good. They're a solid team. But Ventura, like I said, they're going to come back next year. Ventura is a good freaking school, dude. Ventura, those Pirates can play some football, and I'm really happy for them for making the leaps and strides they did. They just had a down year, dude. You're going to lose guys. We just talked about that. You're not going to be that same team every year. You're going to lose dudes. So hats off to them on a good season. I mean, that's really going to do it for them. I think there's
They still have one more game left, and they're still going to be bowling. They're 6-3.
They'll be bowling. They will, but
they probably won't get the fancy schmancy bowl. They'll probably get like the mid to like close to top tier bowl.
Mm-hmm. No, it's true. They'll be playing somewhere, and good for them. But I guess the bummer could have been a little higher. But hey, Elko said.
But at least they're not getting like the Raiders toilet bowl. Sorry, Larry.
It's the truth. So, dude, yeah, that was it. Last night, of course. Well, let's just take a look before we get into last night. So here's that current. Where's that dang top 25? I don't even know where it is. I lost it somewhere in here. But anyway, before we get to that, Teran, yeah, no, dude, I don't understand. I look at teams like good old RCC, and I think to myself, okay, well, this team obviously is going to be a juggernaut, right? And you look at these teams and you know damn well that these are going to be some amazing football teams this year. Do you feel that the committee from both the NJCAA and not just the NJCAA, but of course the 3C2A, do you think they should be the ones to look into a small bracket now instead of just what do you call it, like a small little playoff, the best two, really? Well, it really is the best 8. It is. Yeah,
I think they should go 8 instead of 4. But it all depends on what the committee wants and what all the other teams want and how much football is too much football. So it's all dependent on that whole thing.
Yeah, that's true. So looking here at the the top 25, I mean, look at that, Teran. Obviously, Mount Sac leading off 9-0, Riverside 8-0. San Mateo's still hanging in there. They won a good game last night. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But yeah, I mean, just Golden West hanging out up there in that top 4 as well. Butte right outside. El Camino has made their presence at number 6 now. Modesto at 7. Fresno State, Mesa fell to 9. They're still in that top 10. American River is in that top 10. And there you go. The rest of the top 25 is kind of hanging out right there. But Teran, what do you think, dude? I mean, I'm excited to see Mount San Jacinto up there. It's cool to see those guys actually competitive since, when I played, they weren't so competitive. Long Beach's hanging out over there. Pasadena has made it to 22. Unfortunately, they're not up at the top where they should be, but whatever. But yeah, what do you think about this top 25?
Yeah, I think the top 25 looks as good as ever. You mentioned the top 4. Yeah, Mount Sac is 1. Obviously, Riverside is 2. San Mateo 3. Oh, San Mateo is 3. But I imagine Golden West, unless El Camino has like a big win and then San Diego Mesa has like a giant win and Golden West just loses big time. Mm-hmm. I imagine Golden West is going to be in that top 4 in terms of the SoCal region. Yeah. But Golden West still has to take care of business against Mount Sac and whatnot. So I imagine El Camino they'll probably be the last one in, and then the first one out will be San Diego Mesa. I mean, they do have the head-to-head over Golden West, but honestly, that's kind of where the buck stops.
Exactly. Yeah, looking at these top 4, if we're looking at the top 4 for each, I mean, really, yeah, Mount Sac for sure, Riverside, Golden West, El Camino, they're there. They're there. Like these are the teams that you're there. They look pretty good. They pulled themselves up. You're right, Teran, but you're right. Mesa could, who knows? Well, looking at the North, I think the North is pretty settled, Teran.
Yeah.
San Mateo is not going to go anywhere. They're gonna be that number 1 seed in NorCal. You see Butte, damn well Butte is gonna be up there. Okay, Butte's not going nowhere either unless they have some kind of mean collapse. So that's 2. Modesto knocked off San Mateo this year when they were number 1. Okay, so Modesto is definitely up there unless they fall apart somehow, but they're gonna be up there. And then you see, Fresno City. American River is 6-3, and they're the closest team too. So, Teran, I don't think American River, even if they win, I'm pretty sure Fresno City should be up there. So, I know those should be the 4. Those should be the 4.
Yeah, unless we get like chaos on the last day of the regular season, which is today. So,
You don't know until you know, right? I mean,
That's why you play the game. You don't simulate it like Madden.
that's why you play the game. So, Sarah, looking at all that good stuff there, man. Today, of course, we got some fun ones. Of course, number 4, Golden West at number 1, not San Antonio. Teran, I don't care. We're gonna stop the show for this one. Who you got and why?
I got Mount Sac beating Golden West. I think Mount Sac has been on one. They're just on a roll. You got to go with the hot hand. Golden West is going to make Mount San Antonio work, but I think Mount Sac just comes out on top barely by a nose. Well, maybe like more than a nose, but I think Mount Sac is going to have to work for this win.
Without a doubt, Mount Sac is they're going to be challenged, but I just don't know if anybody's beating them. I'd love to see Riverside beat them. I believe Riverside is the only team that could pull this off in the playoff, but we're going to find out. They've beaten them the last couple of years in the playoff. We're going to find out. But yeah, dude, so we got some goodies, though. We got some Mount Sac taking on Golden West. Number 2, Riverside taking on Fullerton. Fullerton has always been a freaking thorn in Riverside's side.
That has trap game written all over it.
Oh, it scares me.
Off.
No, it's the truth. It scares me. I'm you know me. I'm cheering so hard for Riverside. But Teran, this and it's at Fullerton on that crazy striped field. I mean, Teran, this is this is a scary one. Fullerton hasn't had that good of a season at all. But
yeah, they've been up and down as of late, but they're still in that top 25. So if Riverside thinks they're going to be walking into Fullerton College and they're going to be getting an easy win, they have another thing coming. They really got to cross their T's and dot their I's. They got to play sound, solid defense. And they just can't underestimate Fullerton because Fullerton is still a solid, legit team. So Riverside has really got to come out swinging, and they got to establish a good enough lead to the point where they can safely take their players out and eventually keep everyone healthy for the playoffs.
100%, dude. Couldn't agree more. Also, Sierra versus number 5 Butte. Could that be a trap game? Sierra has come up. I think actually Sierra's not top 25 right now. They are number 21, actually. I don't know why I didn't put it in there. But we have also number 25, Allen Hancock, hosting number 6, El Camino. Reedley taking on number 8, Fresno City. Like I said, these are the games that they just got to win. Golden West or Mount San Antonio. Wow, I'm all over the place with the mounts. Mount San Antonio wins this game versus Golden West. They're for sure just in. They're good. Number 1 seed.
And they're the number 1 seed.
Exactly. Riverside wins this thing. They're for sure in. They're number 2. Butte wins this thing. Now we got to fight for number 4. We got to fight to see who comes up. Is anybody going to come up? Golden West will fall at that point in time. Butte should sneak right up into that number 4. Elko, if they win this game, I'm pretty sure they're going to solidify their spot in there, but they got to win this tough one on the road. Allen Hancock is 4-4. I get it, but it's been a rough year, but can they win this thing on the road up there? We have Reedley taking on Fresno City. We just talked about Fresno City. They got to be able to seal this one off. San Diego Mesa, they're out of it. But hey, bowl game. Let's see. Palomar is not an easy opponent. That's a regional game for them in the area. Those two schools not too far from each other. And then Feather River taking on number 10 American River. Why did I put that in there? It's a rivalry game. It's a fun one. And well, really, American River is trying to find a nice bowl spot. So really, Teran, these are the games that I picked out because I think they're going to be very exciting this week.
Yeah, I definitely agree with those. I also think Mount San Jacinto and Saddleback is going to be a great matchup as well, just because Saddleback, they've really improved, and Mount San Jacinto, they've also done great things this season as well. I think this is the battle of 2 improved teams. And I think Saddleback, with how they've been scoring, I would not be surprised if this was a high-scoring affair.
No, absolutely, dude. This should be a fun one. So, moving forward, Teran, here we go, man. Look at this one from last night. Number 3, San Mateo just destroyed Laney. Like I said, Laney, they were champions 2019. Go watch The Last Chance U for that season. I mean, hey, they look good, but they haven't been the same ever since. And San Mateo just running through them like a freaking hot knife through butter.
Yep.
So, and it's like I said, they're there for sure. San Mateo is in. They're guaranteed. This is book the hotels. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. It's over. Like, they're gonna go play somewhere. Like, so this is big. San Mateo is definitely going to come in and make it happen. They won it last night, but like I said, these games today, they're really going to spell out how our playoff looks, and we're going to be talking about that next week. So anything else you want to throw out there for the 3C2A, Teran?
No, I think that's it. I mean, for the teams that are on the outside looking in, all they can do is just hope that someone slips up or the committee finds the way to put them into that top four. But
Yeah.
it's now a numbers game and a waiting game at this point.
It is. So we'll see where we are. But moving on, Teran, the NJCAA last week, dude, we knew it. The MACCC championship semifinal, Northwest Mississippi taking on Mississippi Gulf Coast. Northwest got the better, and they have moved on. Today is going to be it because we got this game today, which is the MACCC championship, number 4. Northwest Mississippi taking on number 7 East Central, also Mississippi. That is going to say so much about this 14 playoff that they have. And then, of course, Teran, another game that I thought was pretty darn good for today. Number 14 Cisco taking on number 6 Navarro. But before we get there, I just want to take a look at this top 25. This top 15. Iowa Western, like we keep on saying it, Teran, Iowa Western, the Reavers, they took number 1, and they're not going to let that damn thing go. They got a stranglehold on number 1. They are a great school. You can't slight these guys in any way, shape, or form. It just goes to show you how good they are. Georgia Military, though, sneaking up, dude. They're sneaking on up. I love what they got going there. This is a team that has really proven themselves. They did not start out there this season, but they're there now. So hats off to these guys. Big ups, man. So much fun looking at this deal here. Hutchinson, can they redeem themselves? They fell to number 3. Northwest Mississippi, I'm almost positive they're going to win this damn game today. Can they move up? So really, I mean, Teran, this is pretty big. Snow, can they stay up there? East Central, if they win today, are they going to jump up there? I mean, what do you think about this, Teran?
Yeah, I think a lot could happen this week. I think this is kind of the week where we find out which teams are which teams and who's going to be solidifying what spot come postseason time. Uh-oh.
Sorry, I said, oh yeah, I was muted there, but oh yeah, no, NJCAA action, man, never ceases to amaze. I am really, really, really excited to see who makes it. But once again, top 14 playoff, Iowa Western, I just feel like they're just going to push their way on through. But what if we see Georgia Military up there, Teran? Do you think Georgia Military could be the team to knock these guys off?
Maybe, and perhaps, but I wouldn't put money on it.
No, it's true. I mean, remember last year, NJCAA, man, Iowa Western defeated East Mississippi 61-14 in the championship.
Yep.
So is somebody going to knock off these champs? Hutchinson won it before that, and then before that, Iowa Western won it again. So, like I said, they got a stranglehold on this thing right now. Those two teams got themselves a stranglehold. But today should be a good one. Like I said, the MA 3C championship, I guess if you want to call it, number 4, Northwest Mississippi taking on number 7, East Central. I don't know, Teran, who are you taking?
Hold on.
That's a close one.
Wait, which matchup again? Sorry, I was on the wrong day.
No, it's on Northwest Mississippi taking on number 7. So number 4, Northwest Mississippi taking on number 7, East Central.
Man, that's going to be a barn burner. This one's for all the marbles. And honestly, I'm going to take Northwest Mississippi. I think they're the hotter team. I feel this one's going to be an instant classic. I would not be surprised if this was basically an overtime game or if this one came down to the final play. But I'm taking Northwest Mississippi.
Good pick. I just feel like they're the safer bet. They've proven it. They're damn good. They're a solid team. What more do you want out of a football team, man? These guys have done it all this year. Let's see what they got. I think they're going to make some splashes. But that's really it, Teran. The NCAA, it's a little sleepy this week besides these couple of games. I mean, unless you got any ones to add. But I think our playoff is going to be pretty solid.
I don't know if this team won last week or if they made their game close, but maybe Hutchinson City and Garden City. Let me just double check what
Hutchinson
happened
has
last
to
week.
win this
Yeah,
game.
Garden City did make it close against Iowa Central, so maybe that would as a sneaky good matchup. Kilgore and Tyler might be a sneaky good matchup.
Texas.
Yes.
Mhm.
But that's about it.
Yeah, well, Hutchinson and Garden City. It's just like Riverside versus Fullerton. It's just like,
Trap Game City.
yeah, Garden City. They're not bad. That is a good football team. It's just Hutchinson is pretty damn good. So, but if Hutchinson, if the Blue Dragons even ease off, because they're still in this thing, Darren. The Blue Dragons are going to the playoffs. They're going to be just fine. They're looking to square off probably against Iowa Western. But if they slip up even just a little bit,
Yeah. Yeah, especially
says,
since it's on the road. That's kind of the big thing right there. So
oh yeah,
Hutchinson's really got to keep it has to be straight as an arrow.
Oh yeah. No, that is for dang sure, dude. So let's move forward now on into the NAIA. And Teran, we got some things to talk about in the NAIA because we've been cheering on the little team that could, Dort. Good old Dort. Oh man. So last week we've been cheering these guys on, haven't we, Teran?
Yep.
We've been cheering on Dort. And I feel like these last 2 weeks have been brutal to Dort, man. But yeah, so last week they lose to Morningside, number 8. Rough go for them. They were number 4 at the time. They fall back. That's a rough one, man. They fall back and okay, they're at number 10 now. And now they get ready to play number 9, Northwestern. Obviously, we talked about this as a must-win game for Northwestern, Teran, because they were the champs a couple years ago. They were in the championship last year. We keep reminding that they were in the championship versus Kaiser last year. They lost 31-21 versus the Seahawks. And Teran, these Red Raiders, man, they were in it. They were in this game, and both these teams were in this game. But a field goal was the entire story of this defensive battle, man. How about that? Northwestern defeats Dort 3-0. That's a freaking game right there.
Yep. That's probably I was thinking of you when I saw that. I'm like, well, this is probably going to be Larry's best game of the year in terms of the NAIA.
Mm-hmm. That's
At least it's better than some of the high scoring affairs that we got in terms of this past week. But yeah, that's a heartbreaker for Dort, losing on its home field to Northwestern via just one field goal. Those are the games where you'd rather get blown out than lose a heartbreaker just because your offense just could not pull the weight as the defense did.
It really is a heartbreaker, man. That's a tough one because you want to see these guys. I wanted to see them prevail so bad. Like I really did. I was pushing. I was pulling for these guys. Unfortunately, though, wasn't to be. Rough go for Dort. Where do you think? Where do you see Dort now, Teran? I mean, obviously, we're gonna have the top 25 right here, but Dort, man, this little team, the little team that could, they have now completely fallen out of the top 10, and they've actually fallen all the way to number 16, and it's a 16-team playoff. If they can just hang on, Teran, they're going to find themselves in the freaking playoff.
Yeah, they're basically on the borderline of being first one out or last one in. So, yeah, Dort is kind of got themselves in a little bit of a pickle, and I think next week is going to really decide where they'll be at. And they kind of got to hope that no one else pulls off any upsets and whatnot. If not, then if there are no upsets, then they'll be in. But they're going to have a very tough path to the championship. But they probably could also be one of the better 16 seeds anyone has seen in the NAIA playoffs.
And watch that be Darren. Watch them be the UMBC. Watch them be the right. Watch them be who else pulled that freaking victory? Forgot somebody else did. A number 16 seed pull off a victory over a 1. I'm just saying, watch them do it. I mean, oh my gosh. I don't know if we've ever seen that. We got to look that up, Teran. I don't know if we've ever seen a what do you call it? A 16 seed beat a 1 in the NAIA. I don't think we ever have. I don't know. But of course, we got to get the flowers, man, courtesy of NAIA.com. I love how they do this every single week. So Offensive player of the week, we have Ernest Caesar out of Texas Wesleyan, senior running back, rushed for 212 yards and a school record 6 touchdowns in a 48-7 win over Langston, Oklahoma. Averaged 8.5 yards per carry. Now has 33 rushing touchdowns on the season, surpassing the NAIA record of 32 set by JoJo Jones of Lamouth in Tennessee in 1994 and Roger Butler of Tabor, Kansas. I had a buddy that played there in 2005. So that's pretty cool, man. NAIA football defensive player of the week. Lee Livingston, the third, played for Missouri Baptist, sophomore defensive back. Return an interception, 100 yards for a touchdown in the final minute of the game to seal the Spartans' 32-20 victory over Graceland, Iowa. Recorded 2 tackles and broke up another pass. Awesome job for him. And special teams player of the week, Clayton Bosma out of Northwestern, Iowa. Senior defensive back blocked a potential game-tying field goal with 17 seconds left on the clock as Northwestern, as you've seen, defeated number 7 Dordt, Nebraska 3-0. Recorded 4 total tackles, and this is the 7th time this season Northwestern has held an opponent to 7 or fewer points. That's freakishly awesome. So there you go. Hats off to those young men on those great games there, Teran. It is a sleepy week in the NAIA. We don't really have anything. We're going to see those games that could be trap games, but this is really it, Teran. There's no ranked on rank, really nothing big here. Anything you want to point out for the NAIA this week?
Well, I guess on the topic of defensive battles, we got to give some flowers to Dakota State for beating Mayville State 7-0. So that was kind of a nice win right there. And then the battle for Oregon, Southern Oregon took down Eastern Oregon 49-21. So just got to give those flowers right there. And then I guess for the high score of the week, we had Taylor of Indiana taking down Madonna of Michigan 91-28. So yeah, those are kind of my superlatives.
And those are some good games, Teran. Definitely some good games. I love the Battle of Oregon there. East Oregon this year had some tough ones. I think they lost to a D3 team this year, so that was kind of a rough go for them. But hey, good deal. Loving it. Enjoy us some good old NAIA football. See some good ones coming up this week. So, Teran, here we go, dude. We are going to roll around into some Division 3. Last week, dude, Cortland, SUNY Cortland, the defending champions, the number 2 team in the nation right now. They had all they can handle, dude. Brockport, number 25, Brockport freaking brought it, man. And guess what? They only won this game by 1 point. 29-28. SUNY Cortland pulls off the victory. That's a little scary. It's a little scary for SUNY Cortland. But Teran, I mean, what do you think? Is it just one of those games, or do you think SUNY Cortland should be a little scared even after this undefeated season so far?
I think Cortland had a lot to play for, and that was kind of the reason why they had a lot of pressure on them. Brockport didn't have much to play for. They were just playing with house money, especially on their home field. So yeah. I feel Brockport really held their own against Cortland, but Cortland was able to pull out the win by a nose. So that was a great win by Cortland.
It was very, very good win, and you love to see it, man. You love to see a good football game like that. Certainly a fun game for both teams. Maybe not the funnest for SUNY Cortland because they were tested a little too close for comfort there. But it was still after winning that game, you already know those guys were like, "Whoo, that was fun." It was like a roller coaster with a 20-story drop. You know, whoo, I was scared for a minute, but that was fun. But that was pretty cool, and it's really cool to see that. You know, so I am so excited for these guys here, and it's really cool to see it, man. It's really cool to see these teams playing for all they play, you know. But what are you thinking right now for the rest of these guys? Mount Union obviously balling out, having a good deal, defeating Marietta. We talked about this earlier. Jen B mentioned this in the comments earlier today. Look at this. How you like that? How you like that, Teran? The OAC champions yet again. Mount Union. How you feel about these guys this year?
Mount Union is looking like a legit contender. I think that obviously they run the OAC and everyone else is just paying the Reds. But I feel that
Yeah.
Mount Union can really make a push in the postseason. So long as they stay healthy and they don't get caught up and they don't get lost in the sauce.
Yeah, and hopefully they don't, because that team is just too damn talented. So there we go, man. So much. Let's see here. Moving forward into the current top 25, courtesy of D3Football.com. Here we go, dude. This is the one. This is it. We have the current 25 up. We're going into this final week. North Central still leading the charge, still looking good, still playing great. Cortland, they're 9-0. St. John's is right there. Hardin Simmons. Well, going back to this really quick, I want to mention a couple more games on this slate. Number four, Hardin Simmons, man. They played Mary Hardin Baylor. Teran, we talked about this last week. Mary Hardin Baylor made a surge. We knew that they were going to play good football, but Teran, you knew that this was it. If they did not win this game, they might not make the playoffs. They lost. That's another loss in their record this year. I think the crew is out for this year, man.
Yeah, I think so too. Just too many losses on their record, and I don't think the committee's gonna let them through with that resume.
No, it's rough because you want to see them win. You know, it was really cool seeing them in the Stag Bowl a couple years ago. The purple Stag Bowl versus the Purple Raiders. Them and the crew, that was fun. The Crusaders and Purple Raiders, but not to be this year. How about number 20, man? Wisconsin Lacrosse. They took out Whitewater also 24-21. We talked about this game too being the defining moment of Whitewater season. I think it's safe to say Whitewater is officially out of this thing, man.
Yeah, Whitewater's out of it, unfortunately. I feel Lacrosse was able to put together a great game, and it was a great game overall by both teams. But Lacrosse was able to inch out the win.
It's rough. It really is, because you want to see them do good. You know, I wanted to see Lacrosse make that deep push as far as they could, but it just couldn't happen. And then, of course, Stout. Dude, talk about a stout team. Look, how about this, man? Wisconsin Stout knocking off number 19, Oshkosh, 45-42. Holy crap. That has a lot on Oshkosh now, because Oshkosh could be falling a lot in that top 25.
Yeah, I think that was the only upset from last week in terms of like unranked versus ranked matchups. But yeah, it was probably the only upset altogether. But looking at it, but yeah, that was such a huge win for Wisconsin Stout. I thought they played a pretty solid game. It was high scoring, which meant the defenses were getting cooked, but Stout was able to put together a great game plan and just edge out the win over Oshkosh.
Oh, yeah. And that was a hell of a game, man. So the game, okay, so once again, top 25. Looking at here, Gen B says Mount Union is 3. Well, it says here they're number 5. But of course, they had different rankings, different places. But Mount Union, obviously, they're hanging out up there. The top, these teams. I mean, it's a freaking 24-team playoff. I don't know how many teams there are in this thing. I forgot, but it's a big one for Division III. They're all gonna get in. This looks right, doesn't it? I mean, you got Carnegie Mellon, who's had a good year. You have Aurora, who's had a solid year. Whitworth, dude. Whitworth and Linfield, Oregon and Washington in the house. Okay. Oshkosh, I mean, sneaking in there somewhere. I mean, dude, we got some good stuff here. I'm really, really, really excited. Aren't you?
Yes, I definitely am excited, especially for this week's slate.
Well, this week's slate, I got one team. I got one game that I got that's going to be a doozy. Now, number 24, Bethel, taking out number 3, St. John's. This has major implications for those higher seeds. But what do you got for us?
Yeah, I think St. John's should be able to win this one, but Bethel is not to be underestimated. Bethel, just like with Cortland last week when they played their opponent, they got nothing to lose. Bethel has nothing to lose. They're playing with house money. I feel Bethel might is going to come out with a lot of fire, and even though they're on the road, I still think they're going to play hard.
Oh, they will. This is going to be a great one. It should be a fun. Yeah, see, but different places, different sources. D3 football, usually the one we go off of because that's the big one. That's their website. But yeah, man, regardless, Mount Union, they're going to be up there. They're going to get a great seed. All these schools are going to do great. But Bethel, I think this has a lot to say about Bethel. If Bethel can win this thing, this solidifies so much for them, getting a higher seed, making this thing happen. St. John's, dude. St. John's, if they fall, how far do they fall?
Probably like maybe 5 spots, maybe 7.
It's possible. They'll still be in the tournament, but it'll be a little bit harder this year for them.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, man, there you go. Division 3. Moving on now into Division 2, man. Let's rock and roll.
There's another ranked on ranked matchup in Division 3, Linfield versus Whitworth.
Oh, that's right. There is one. That's right. That should be fun. That is a Oregon versus Washington State battle right there.
Yeah.
Between these two teams. And it's kind of crazy to see. Linfield has historically been good, but Whitworth is really starting to climb, make a better name for themselves. My money is on Linfield though for this game.
Yeah, I think Linfield edges this one out. It's going to be tough on the road, but I think Linfield just barely pulls it out.
It should be a close one there, man. But moving forward, Teran, Division 2. Last week, oh my gosh, we talked about it. We talked about this last week. We said that Ferris State, this was a rivalry game. Ferris State could be majorly challenged by Saginaw, and they were, man. Saginaw State challenged these guys, gave them everything they had. 27-24, Ferris State barely pulls this thing off over unranked Saginaw State. Dude, Saginaw State was coming to take their cookies. This was such a good game, man. Oh my gosh, it was a good game. But then you have, what was that?
Indeed, it was a very good game.
Well, how do you feel about that one? I mean, do you think a couple more minutes it could have gone the other way, or do you think Ferris State had it no matter what?
I think Ferris State had it, but I feel a lot could have happened with a little bit more time. Just goes to show that time is so precious in a game like that.
No, it's true, and I love it, man. This was a fun game. Like I said, we called this thing, man. We knew it was going to be a fun one. We knew this game was going to be definitely going to be a game where we look back like at the end of the season and go, that had a lot of deciding factor. If of course they would have lost, because Ferris State would have dropped to like 7. You know what I mean? Like, but this was a game too we can look back at and say, damn. Because Saginaw, let me see, Saginaw State. What's their record, Teran? Do you see it anywhere?
Saginaw State or Saginaw Valley. They are
Saginaw State. I think they've got like 4 losses. I'm not sure though.
I think they have 4 losses.
They have 4. Okay.
Well, 5 if you want to include Ferris State. Yeah, they have 5 losses.
That's rough. That's really rough. That's so rough because, damn it, it's tough go for those guys. Then they're definitely not going to make the playoff. That's rough, but
some of their losses have been by 1 score. They lost to number 2 Grand Valley by 7. They lost to number 1 Ferris State by 3. They lost to number 14. Or no, they beat Indianapolis. They lost to Northwood by 3. That was the heartbreaker right there. So yeah, a lot of scores just did not go their way.
That's a rough one, man, because this team has so much potential. They just couldn't pull it together in the smallest in the smallest margins out there, right? And rough go for them, man. But yeah, Ferris State though leading the way. They still look good, and they was.
And actually, Saginaw State is 7-3. I'm sorry, I can't do math today.
3. They've lost 3. So there's a chance they could still get in now. I think even with 3 losses, I think they could still, but that's the minimum.
Especially since some of their losses have been close to really good teams like Grand Valley. Again, 1-score loss. Like all their games have been 1-score losses. The only thing that might be letting them down is the Northwood loss.
Yeah, and it's right. Not the best team that they lost to there, but I will say this is a tough one. I don't know if the committee will throw them in there or not. They get my vote, man. This is a hell of a school. These guys got some. But I think 3 is the maximum, not minimum, that you can have. So we'll see. But dude, that is some good stuff right there. Top 25. Ferris State looking good out front. Valdosta cuts down right behind them. Grand Valley, we just talked about them playing Saginaw State hard, or Saginaw State playing them hard. The defending champions, Harding, still hanging in there at number 5. Now they've climbed their way back up. So yeah, Taryn, I mean, Pittsburgh led at one point. Now they've got 2 losses, but they're still at number 8. Augustana, hanging out there at number 10. Looking at this top 25, Taryn, I mean, are you I think this is a 16-team playoff as well. Or it could be, I don't know if it's 24 or 16, but regardless, these teams, I think we're pretty much set.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much set too. And if it is a 16-team playoff, then this week is going to be big for a lot of teams in that top 16, and for the teams that are knocking on the door, and next week as well.
Oh no, for sure. And I know I had to go check again because I'm like, wait a minute, I'm second guessing myself. But yeah, good old these playoffs, man. I love that we have these though, and I think I'm just so happy because Taryn, we advocated for this thing for so long with the playoffs, and finally in Division 1 we did it. Like they did it. They freaking got the 12-team playoff in there. It's good enough, is what it is. But just double checking here now, going to the website. Want to make sure we get it right because it's important. So bracket. So we get, look at that. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, that's right. Because this one has bye weeks in it. So yeah, 2, 4, 6. Good. So 8, 10, 12. Yeah. So 16 teams, and we get 4 bye weeks in this one. So those top 4 seeds are gonna get bye weeks.
Got it.
So let's see who they are. Let's see who we get. This week we got some goodies, man. Number 3 cuts down, taking on number 17, California University out of Pennsylvania. Of course, we get, I believe, Carson Newman. Number 20, Carson Newman taking on number 8, Wingate, and number 21, Florida. West Florida. The Argos taking on number 2, Valdosta State. Darren, this one's huge, man, because it is a 16-team playoff. California University is right there on the bubble. You're right. Number 3, you talk about house money, man. I mean, Cutsdown doesn't have much to lose. They're going to be in this tournament no matter what. But California, this is everything to them right now. Wingate and Carson Newman, if they happen to win, one of them is going to win this game. Somebody upsets somebody this week and falls, they're going to sneak right in there. And same thing with West Florida. They get this victory over number 2, Valdosta. Taryn, if West Florida defeats Valdosta, should they get in regardless?
Perhaps, yeah. But going back to Cutsdown, California, Cutsdown does have to play for seeding, and that's big for them. So I would say they have just as much to play for as California. California, they're on the borderline of making the playoff and missing the playoff. I feel that California at home, they'll come out swinging, but it's going to be a great game regardless.
It will be. It will be. And Jen B says here, I just saw her comment here, does Ashland, of course, out of Ohio, have a chance? Unfortunately, this year, no. I think they're pretty much dead in the water. Jen, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, Ashland, this team, they actually started out pretty good, Taryn. They really did. The Ashland Eagles, it was crazy. They started out the year with a loss to IUP. Then they get destroyed by Ferris State. They win a close game over Hillsdale. I mean, they've got some good games. They defeated Tiffin, which was a good game for them because you need wins. Ohio Dominican defeated them. Then they knocked off number 23 Findlay. In October, that was huge. They would defeat Thomas More. They barely won over Northwood, which was a big victory there. We talked about them a few minutes ago. They defeated Lake Erie. But then this is kind of the dagger for them, where they lost to Walsh, and it just kind of drugged them so deep, man. They're 7-3 on the season. I don't think they're near the top 25, but it's rough, I mean, 7-3. They'll get in there somewhere, maybe a bowl game. I don't know, but realistically, I don't think Ashland has much of a chance to get in this tournament.
Yeah, it's looking pretty doubtful for them, unfortunately.
Kind of a rough go, man. You'd love to see Ashland, or a team like just come out of the fire, But unfortunately, man, they're the Eagles, not the Phoenix. It's unfortunate for those games. If they were the Phoenix, they wouldn't be making it this year, but it's all right moving forward. So, Taryn, any other big games for you in D2 this week?
Does not look like it, but I want to see Ferris State have a complete game against Davenport. I want to see how they fare against Davenport, especially since Davenport doesn't really have too much to play for, and they're playing with house money on the road as well.
Oh, yeah. So we shall see, Teran.
Minnesota Duluth looks pretty good as well.
The Mavericks and the Bulldogs. That's a fun one. Oh, man, that's a fun one. That one went under the radar for me. Neither team have had the best season, but a football game, that's a good football game. That should be fun.
Yep. Western Colorado and Colorado Mesa also could be a sneaky good matchup.
Some RMAC. I think it's RMAC as they call that conference.
Yeah, Carson Newman, Wingate is ranked, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And like you mentioned, West Florida versus Valdosta State. West Florida, like you mentioned, if they win, I feel they could be in regardless because that's such a big win on the road, mind you. But they're going to need to play their what's out against a team like Valdosta State. Oh,
yeah, Teran. Look, like I said, if somehow Florida State wins the Florida State, Florida State's not winning anything. If somehow West Florida's better than Florida State in this game.
Yes.
If if West Florida wins this game, I think they get in. Teran, how do you not? How in the last week, how in the hell do you not get in if you knock off the top seed?
If they win by a certain amount, that could prove that they belong in the tournament as well.
Exactly, because right now, Valdosta State, those four teams looking at a first round bye. Ferris State, Valdosta, cuts down in Grand Valley. They're all looking at a first round bye. So, like I said, you knock off one of those teams, and you're number 21. I'd be a little upset if they didn't get in. If they were somehow do that, I don't care if you're resting players or not. That's huge. So yeah, right. That was pretty big. So, all right, Teran. Well, we're taking ourselves a quick break. When we come back, man, we're gonna jump on into some Division I. We got FCS, FBS action. Pick along with us. We actually have a decent Saturday night football game this week.
There's a first for everything.
There's a first for everything. Let's see if we don't get a dud this week. You were listening to the 3 and Out College Edition right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. We'll be right back after this.
It's IE Sports Radio. It is your direct feed for all that is sports. It is Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris every Tuesday night right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris is the most comprehensive view on Philadelphia sports exclusively right here on IE Sports Radio. You know what it is, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tuesday night, IE Sports Radio, Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris.
Are you a fan of Buffalo sports? Are you thinking of changing loyalties and becoming a Buffalo sports fan? Do you even know where Buffalo is on the map? Did you know Canada is closer to Buffalo than New York City? Welcome to the Buffalo Huddle, every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Coast Time on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Patty Bax. This is a podcast designed for you, the passionate sports fan. I know you love your sports. Who doesn't? I cover Buffalo sports and so much more by bringing in the human elements. I call it Buffalo Sports with a Twist. Join me as we take a journey into the world of Buffalo sports. I guarantee you'll fall in love with Buffalo just like I did. Each week we start with an inspiration
question of the day, a Buffalo fun fact, and our weekly challenge to you, the listener. Come huddle up with me every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Coast Time for the Buffalo Huddle with Patty Bax on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. As we say in Buffalo, go Bills!
And we are back. We are back. We are back at it, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to roll on to this final segment, man. It's been a fun show, you guys. Whew, sorry, I had to run over there and do like 1,000 things at one time. So, hey, I'm back, though. So, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to 3 and Out College Just right here on iSports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. We've made it, Teran. We are here at the end now. I think close to the end of the show, we got ourselves some picks to make for the FBS. We got to talk about some FCS before we do all that. Because, Teran, there was only one game that truly mattered last week in the FCS, and that was number 5 UC Davis, who has just been the most impressive team I think we've seen in a long time from the FCS, taking on number 10 Montana, and they freaking did it, man. The Aggies down the Grizzlies 30-14. Teran, how about this, dude? We both picked UC Davis because we were like, let's just see what they got, and they did it.
Yeah, Davis has been a very, very impressive this season. And like I mentioned, this is probably Davis's best team in probably a hot minute.
It is. This is huge. This is huge, man. I mean, remember when they made March Madness a couple of years ago?
Yep.
You know, I mean, dude, like UC Davis they have their moments, dude, and I love it. I'm really happy to see this team from Northern California get it going. Hats off to these guys, man. I really feel that they're a good. Yeah, that's right. Hats off, good sir. These guys, if my hair wasn't all messed up, I'd do it too. But just kidding, because I have a hat on. That's the reason why. But anyway, but Teran, I really feel like right now, UC Davis is on their way, dude. They're going to make this tournament. I guess hope that they do good in this tournament. I want them to, hey, if they win it, that'd be amazing. But I mean, hey, at least stay relevant. I think UC Davis this year has made leaps and bounds as a program. And they've done great. Let's take a look at that top 25, dude. Because look at these guys. I mean, Teran, how about this, man? Look at this top 25. This is fun. I see you. Yeah, Teran, look at that, man. Freaking North Dakota State. I mean, they're on the path to win more freaking rings. I mean, this team has more rings than Sonic the Hedgehog, man. I mean, they're incredible. They get it done, and they're back now at the top. I mean, everybody. I know I was cheering for the Jacks. It's not that I'm sick of seeing. Okay, I'm sick of seeing them. I'm sorry. Like I'm all. Buffaloes are awesome. They've got it. Or the Bison. Sorry, they've been great, but they need to just go up to D1 single A already. Gosh damn it! Stop it! Just go play with the big boys. You already challenged those guys. Same thing with the Jacks. Even though they've had a short time at the top, and this year, I mean, they can totally win it again. But Teran, I want to see them both go up to Division I. Single A. They need to just go up to Division I single A. Just do it already. Damn it. We say it every week. I'm getting tired of saying it here on the show. Who knows when that'll happen? But I'll tell you, Teran, that's big. But taking a look at these schools, look at Montana State. They're right there. They're 10-0. This is theirs to lose, really. South Dakota State's right behind them. UC Davis. And speaking of that, Teran, I mean, there's the rest of the top 25. You see South Dakota in there. Unfortunately, in North Dakota, I would love to have seen them in there, but the Fighting Hawks haven't had a great year. They fell. I think they're playing South Dakota today, the Coyotes. They got the in-state rivalry thing going on. Big ups to Tarleton State. Like I said, they were against Division II. Now they're FCS. They're kicking ass this year doing their thing. But, Teran, I can't go any further. This is it. This is the game. There's no other game today. This is the game. UC Davis knocked off a number 10 really good Grizzly team. But now it's time to play their rivals, a really good number 2 Bobcat team. What do you think? Is this is definitely, it's at home. It's a home game. Montana, the Bobcats are coming to UC Davis. But Teran, I mean, they win this thing. How high does UC Davis go?
Probably to number 2. And you know what? I'm taking Davis for this one. I think Montana State they have not suffered a loss this season, and they are due for an L. I feel Davis is going to defend their home field, and I feel the travel might be a little too much for Montana State. Give me the Aggies to pull off the upset in a thriller.
How about that, you guys? Teran Rodriguez putting it down, man. I mean, dude, yeah. Give me the Aggies too. It's not that I'm against the Bobcats, but you're right. They're undefeated this year. They're playing good. UC freaking Davis is coming, man. Congratulations to this team. They've played great. I just want to see them win and play well, man. But like I said, this is the game for me. But of course, Teran knows there's some other games going on today, man. Any other big ones you're looking at here on the FCS today?
For week number 12,
Teran's like, I don't know.
doesn't look like there's anything that stands out too much. Well, Kentucky's playing Murray State, but I digress.
It's one of those games, you know.
Yeah, nothing that really stands out. Maybe Abilene Christian and Tarleton.
That'd be fun. Abilene,
Maybe
of
Weber
course.
State or Weber State in Idaho.
That should be another fun one. I'm with it.
Other than that, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, no, those are good. I agree. Good picks, good games there. That should be, but really, when you look at the big picture, without a doubt, dude, without a freaking doubt, this is the game, and I'm really excited for UC Davis. I want to see UC Davis play and play well. They need to. In order to win this game, they have to play the best damn defense they've played all year. Because Montana State can score. Montana State is no stranger to scoring. Okay, they can pop it in the end zone. So, what are your keys to victory? What do you think?
I think Davis has to control the clock, and they have to play sound, solid football and limit their turnovers and make sure Montana State doesn't get room to operate.
Yeah, if they can do those things, man. I mean, this is so big. This is so big for these guys. And hey, whatever happens, they had a great season, and it's not over yet because UC Davis is going to be in that playoff. They're going to be in there.
And Montana State has a lot more to lose because they have their undefeated record on the line.
Oh yeah,
they have the possible number 2 seed on the line. So I think Montana State has a lot more to lose than Davis does. So that's why I'm taking Davis as well.
Smart. I like it. Smart guy you are there. Yeah, man. So, okay, well, there you have it, man. A little bit of FCS football there, wrapping up, getting close to the end of the season here. And then, Teran, there was the FBS. So, we already talked about it. Quick little recap from the start of the show, if you will. Yeah, the FBS recap, of course, this was last week. They kind of did this last week and fell apart. I mean, yeah, yeah, they fell off. That was big. Of course, we talked all about these games already. Ole Miss falling to Georgia. Of course, Kexi's at the start of every show, man. But Alabama, LSU just being a total dud. The Holy War being a fun one. Virginia knocking off number 19 Pitt, which we had so many big hopes for. Kansas knocking up Iowa State. So that top 25 looking a little something like this, man. Teran, BYU is number 6. I just want to point that out. It's crazy to think. I haven't seen them that high in a long time.
Yeah, ever since post-COVID, yeah. COVID year, yeah.
It's been crazy. So, it's crazy seeing
back
them
when they were independent.
Yeah, yep. That's right, independent BYU. But yeah, I haven't seen. I mean, shoot, they were kind of good like this in the Mountain West. But yeah, I don't know, they weren't this good. So, but yeah, Teran. So taking a look, man, we got some goodies. We got some good ones coming on up today, of course. Which, well, we're gonna go ahead and jump on into it already, man, because here it comes. Here it is, our pick along with us segment. So, hey, everybody out there, feel free, pick along. Let's have some fun and pick. We pick every single game. Even if it's a horrible game, we don't care. It's fun, okay? It's fun. We have ourselves a good deal with this one. And, well, hopefully you guys come pick along with us in the chat because, well, it's a fun deal. So, Teran, starting things off here for us.
We had some games that happened beforehand. Tuesday, we had Buffalo beating Ball State in the thriller. And then yesterday, we had ECU taking out Tulsa, which was a very impressive win. And then yesterday, we also had Arizona snapping their losing skid against Houston. And then yesterday, I actually saw this game on TV, and it might have been the most.
UCLA.
Yeah. UCLA had so many opportunities to beat Washington, and Washington just kept throwing interception after interception, and UCLA just kept fumbling it away, or they kept missing field goals. So, yeah, UCLA really fumbled the bag on this one. And this is a mind-boggling stat. Washington has won 20 straight home games. 20 straight home games. They haven't not won on the road this season, but this 20-game win streak, I think, dates back to like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So Husky Stadium has been the holy land for Washington for the past few seasons.
Which is crazy. I mean, exciting, right? But yeah, no, sorry guys, I'm over here doing them. I'm trying to tweet at the same time, so I'm over forgetting the games from earlier this week. But yeah,
sorry about that. Now we can move on to the pickups.
No, good deal, man. Buffalo, man, getting that crazy victory over Ball State
in overtime. That was the great way to kick off Week 12.
Tuesday Night Football, y'all, at its finest. So that was fun. Bowling Green over Western Michigan, big victory there for those guys. Toledo over Central Michigan, the Chippewas, man, the Chippewas has not been there a year. On to Wednesday, Miami of Ohio over Kent State, 34-7. Northern Illinois over Akron, man, poor Akron, them two. The Zips have not had a good year, 29-6. And then Ohio, a team that has had a decent year, the Bobcats defeating East Michigan, 35-10. Then, of course, we got on to Thursday, right? A game that was way better than Thursday Night Football.
Oh, yeah.
On, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was okay, Commanders and Eagles, but I guess I expected way more out of that game. But this game at least made up for it. Good old East Carolina, man. We know Angelo was excited, defeating Tulsa 38-31 on the road. And, of course, yesterday, Colorado State taking it to Wyoming, 24-10. UTSA, man, they took on the Mean Green. And poor Mean Green, they came out on the wrong side of this one. San Antonio gave it to them. Roadrunners, 38-27. Washington over UCLA. You guys heard Teran talk about that. 31-19. And then Arizona took it to Houston, 27-3 yesterday as well. So, yeah, Teran, some crazy games from earlier this week, man.
Yeah, very really wacky to start the Week 12. But, yeah, I just can't get over the fact that Washington has won 20 straight home games. Will be the first team to knock them off? It all depends. But this year they did beat Michigan at home. They had that fourth down stop against USC last week, not last week, 2 weeks ago, which was the infamous Miller Moss getting benched game. Yeah. So it's. I also will say last week was rather good. Not seeing USC break our hearts again, but I digress. So yeah.
No, it's annoying. It's annoying. I can't stand you, USC. I don't even want to see you play today. They're playing Nebraska. They're probably going to lose. So anyway, whatever. Who cares? Stupid USC. But Kent State is awful. Poor Jen B. Her Ohio heart, man. All these sports over there. At least Akron competes and scores. I'm sorry, Terry. Kent State is pretty awful. They can't seem to do anything. So rough go for these guys all year, man. Don't you feel bad for them?
Oh yeah.
In the slightest. I mean, they're just poor Kent State. But anyway, Teran, moving forward, man, let's go ahead and get ourselves some picks from this week, man. Everybody, you are welcome to join. Pick along with us, man. We got some good ones coming on up today. Starting things off in just a little bit, I'm actually about 10 minutes. Number 2, Ohio State at 8-1, Northwestern at 4-5. This is one of those Big Ten games where you're like, why?
It's going to be at Wrigley Field. That's the good thing.
Yeah.
But Ohio State's going to win.
I agree. I've had Akron reporters tweet at me mad that I post about Kent State too. Oh, that's hilarious. That's funny, but hey, we incorporate all of Northern Ohio, right? Number 3, Texas taking on an 8-1, taking on Arkansas at 5-4. That's another dud.
Yeah, Texas is going to barbecue those Razorbacks and serve them on a plate with pigs in a blanket.
Yeah. So those first two games, Ohio State, Texas all day. Utah, though, at 4-5, taking on number 17, Colorado at 7-2. Teran, this one is a scary one.
Yeah, I think Colorado's going to be they'll obviously win, but if they think they're going to get an easy one against Utah, they have another thing coming. I think Colorado's going to edge this one out.
Oh, yeah. Like Judas Priest, man. They got another thing coming. So I'm totally with
Yep.
that one. Number 20, Clemson at 7-2, taking on 7-2 Pitt. We just talked about these guys. Teran, Pitt is now out of the top 25. Clemson, do they win this thing today and push them further, or does Pitt redeem themselves?
This one could be for the ACC spot in the ACC championship, but I think Clemson pulls this one out in the end by a nose.
Yeah, Pitt, they've been figured out. Something's going on. I'm going to take Clemson in a close one here. Number 25, Tulane at 8-2, taking on the mighty Navy at 7-2. Navy is knocking on the door of the top 25. They were in the top 25 this year. They got 2 tough losses, but Navy is no one to play with. Does Tulane get this victory, or does Navy win this thing at home and probably crawl back into the top 25?
God, this one's a good one. You know what? I'm taking Navy for this one.
This is fun. This is a fun game, right? Ohio State's schedule has been a cakewalk. Only 3 ranked teams in the schedule, and they lost. Well, that's Ohio State, man. Well, that's why they lost to Oregon. I mean, even though that was a good game too. But yeah, I'm with you on that one though, too. I don't know. You got Tulane, you said?
Navy.
Okay, Navy. I'm about to say because I'm going to go Navy. So okay, let's see what Navy can do. Liberty at 6-2, UMass at 2-7. What a great game! But
yeah, Liberty's winning this one.
If the Minutemen win this game, we have La Tech at 3-6, taking on Western Kentucky at 7-2. What do you think, Dan?
I'm taking WKU. WKU.
I like that. Let's go Hilltoppers. UM Monroe at 5-4, Auburn at 3-6. Right?
This is one of Auburn's worst teams we've seen in a while, but I think I'm going to take them.
They'll win, but this game's going to suck. Anyway, Coastal Carolina at 5-4, Marshall, the Thundering Herd at 6-3. Teran, do the Chanticleers go bowling today, or does Marshall be like, no, sorry, bro?
I think Marshall wins this one in a close affair.
I think so too. It's a rough game there for Coastal Carolina to have to play them. But they got a few more weeks left to go bowling. Let's see, or to be eligible. But Murray State at 1-6, Kent State at 3-6. Neither of these teams are going bowling. Who cares?
Yeah, this is FCS versus FBS. Give me Kentucky in this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Blue making an appearance today. Blue is she's making her picks with us.
I saw her in the background. Nice.
She is a Wildcat that is choosing the Wildcats. So I'm just saying, she's going to go with Kentucky as well. So we have Mercer at 9-1 taking on. This sucks. Mercer's like number 4 in the FCS. They're way up there, Teran. Where are they at again? Let's quickly. I'm going to go run back to the FCS. Yeah, dude, Mercer is number 9. Sorry, in the FCS. They're doing good this year, but now they're taking on Alabama. That's just wonderful. But good for you, Alabama, for taking on a team that you are way more significant over. It's good for you. I mean, yeah, who are you, Miami? Anyway, so number 10, Alabama should slaughter Mercer, right? I mean,
yeah, unfortunately, as good of a team as Mercer is in the FCS, Alabama's going to take him to the shed, especially since it's in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, this is going to be really sad. So FIU at 3-6, Jack State, at 6-3.
I'm taking Jacksonville State.
Yeah, I want them to win, but I'm pretty sure they're going to win. FAU at 2-7, Temple at 2-7. And they're both Owls. This is the Owl Bowl.
Yeah.
What owl is
better?
Record. This game should be sponsored by America's Best.
Well, hopefully for Temple's sake, they have the Philadelphia Eagles magic from Thursday, but I'll take Temple.
Yeah, you know what? I'll take FAU. Teran, we are sure that the Owls are going to win this game.
Yes.
Guaranteed the Owls will win this game.
Yes. Some Owls are going to be winning, and some Owls will be hooting into the night angry.
But Teran, the question is who?
Yes. Who?
I'm sorry. We haven't too much with this game. This is why you want to pick with us, okay? This is why you want to pick with us. The 4-5 Michigan Spartans taking on the 6-3 Illinois Illini. They've been surprisingly good this year. I talked some crap about them. I apologize to Adam Karnick here on air. I was like, yeah, I was just mad about SC sucking, but yeah, Illinois is actually pretty okay. Does Michigan State get one step closer to bowling, or does Illinois just be like, nah, homeboy, basketball season for you?
Yeah, I think Illinois wins this one.
Yeah. Over to you, Coach Tom Izzo.
Yes.
Yeah, we're in different sport now. Syracuse at 6-3, Cal at 5-4. Teran, they're one game away from being bowl eligible. But do the Cal Bears defeat the Mighty Orange?
God, this one's a tough one to pick. I'm going to take Syracuse.
I'm going to go Syracuse too, but man, if Cal wins this thing, man, oh my God.
I wouldn't be surprised if Cal won, just because Syracuse does have to deal with being in a different time zone.
Yeah. You know what? I'll take that. That's just a good deal. Okay, next up, Sam Houston State, who has been incredible. Jumping up from an FCS school, man, Division I now, single A. They've been playing good. They got Kennesaw State on radar today. They're 1-8. Teran, Sam Houston is going bowling, and they're gonna go Super Bowling now. I mean, they're gonna demolish Kennesaw State. There's no way, right?
Yeah, Sam Houston's gonna bowl over Kennesaw State.
Yeah, it's going to be a beatdown. I am positive that this is going to be a beatdown, but poor Kennesaw State. Well, we'll see. Another game that I'm pretty sure is going to be a beatdown, and I don't know why I'm even saying. Oh, well, crap. Sorry. Well, next. Sorry. One more game before this one. Hawaii at 4-6, taking on the Aggies at Utah State at 2-7.
I feel bad for the Hawaii fans that have to deal with this because this is a 9 a.m. start time, but at least you don't have the 9 a.m. Pacific start time, which would be a 6 a.m. Hawaii start time. But I'm taking Hawaii to win this one.
Yeah, I'm almost sure Hawaii should win this one, but we'll see what the Aggies got. Now, this game is going to be about as lopsided as it possibly gets. Okay, this is the Giants versus pretty much anybody in the NFL. Number 4, Penn State at 8-1, Purdue at 1-8. The Boilermakers have been about as good as a crap-flavored lollipop this year. I mean, there's nothing special about this team except for maybe the impressive numbers they've gone reverse in. I don't know, Teran, but Penn State is probably going to eat these guys alive today.
Yeah, Penn State's going to win this one easy.
Yeah, this is kind of jacked up. Virginia at 5-4, number 8 Notre Dame at 8-1. Does Virginia go bowling today? I'm sorry.
Not this week. It's going to be Notre Dame's time to shine, sadly.
Yeah, it's going to be, Boston College at 5-4, number 14 SMU at 8-1. This is good for SMU, man. Pony up, Dallas. They've played pretty good, but Boston College, bro, they're trying to go bowling. Is this the week?
Nope. Number 14 SMU is going to win. They're probably going to be the ones in the ACC championship facing Miami, barring Miami doesn't mess up again.
I agree with that one for sure. Number 16 Louisville, 6-3. Stanford at 2-7.
Speaking of ACC, Louisville's going to roll over Stanford.
That shouldn't even be a challenge. Number 22 LSU, which how the hell are they still in the top 25? At 6-3, taking on Florida at 5-4, who is probably more deserving than LSU after that performance from last week.
I think LSU wins in a thriller. I think the LSU wins. Florida's going to come out swinging, but I think LSU edges out the win.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Oregon State at 4-5, Air Force at 2-7. This is a toilet bowl for the sanctuary right here.
Yeah, Oregon State's going to win this one, though.
They'll beat the Falcons, but it won't be by much. The game sucks, but whatever. Got to play the games on the schedule, like you said before, Teran. USF at 4-5, Charlotte at 3-6. My goodness, we get another snooze fest.
South Florida.
Let's go Bulls. Let's see what they do. 5-4 Baylor, 5-4 West Virginia. Teran, someone's going bowling. Who's it going to be?
Give me West Virginia.
Let's see. Let's see what happens. Take me home, country road, to the place I belong, Teran. Take them home. Q Country Road, man. We have good old Troy at 2-7 taking on Georgia Southern, who's at 6-3. They're going bowling. This is Troy. Yeah.
Georgia Southern all the way.
Yeah, I'm positive they're gonna win this thing. Go Eagles. We have, let's see here, James Madison at 7-2, another team who just jumped up from the FCS a couple years ago. They've been amazing. Old Dominion, they got a couple more games to go. This is a good old DMV battle here, but I don't see this happening for Old Dominion, who's at 4-5. Sorry.
If Old Dominion starts Colton Joseph, they will win. If they don't, James Madison will win. I'll take James Madison unless Old Dominion starts Colton Joseph at QB.
Let's see, man. It's a good young man there. I know you brought him up before in the past. We have here, here we go. Do we even have to talk about this? The 5-4 Nebraska Cornhuskers taking on the 4-5 USC Trojans, and both these teams aren't even that good. This is a crap show. I hate this game.
USC has to win this because the schedule gets tougher from here. They've got UCLA next week, and then they've got Notre Dame to close out the season. Fortunately, USC has been great at home most of the season, other than the loss to Penn State. I think they beat Nebraska. The only thing I will say is I hope USC does not look ahead. This has trap game written all over it. And Jade Mayama better do good in his debut because he's taken over for Miller Moss. And if this backfires, then someone here is going to be getting punished. But I got USC beating Nebraska.
Yeah, me too. Let's that's a fight on. Yeah, stupid. USC.
There will be another another Webby song if USC loses.
I'm looking forward to that one. Well, maybe not so soon, but anyway, this is a fun one here, man. Number 23, Missouri, taking on number 21, South Carolina. It's one of only two ranked on ranks this week, man. 7-2, 6-3. This should be actually a really good game.
This will be a really good game. God, I want to say either of these teams can win, but we'll take Missouri in a thriller.
Yeah, I as much as I would like to see South Carolina win this thing. I think Mizzou will pull it off, but screw it. I'm going to go South Carolina just because they're both going bowling. They've both been good. Let's see who wins it. Let's see. Pick 'em game. 5-4 Arkansas State taking on 2-7 Georgia State. Wow. Arkansas State could actually go bowling though in this game.
Yeah, I got Arkansas State winning this one.
Yeah, Red Wolves, Foxes, whatever they are. Let's go. So 5-4 Rutgers taking on Maryland at 4-5. Rutgers win this game. They're going bowling.
Well, they did win last week against Minnesota. I'll take Rutgers this week.
I think so too. They should win this game. Number 13, Boise State at 8-1, taking on San Jose State at 6-3. This is actually a pretty good game. I like this one.
Very good game at that. San Jose State is no joke. I think they're going to give Boise State all that they can handle, but I think Boise State edges out the win.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a freaking doubt. This should be fun. Let's see what happens. Let's go, Boise. This is a fun one here. Number 16, Kansas State at 7-2 will host Arizona State at 7-2. This is another one that could be really fun.
Yeah, this one is definitely going to be a fun one. I would not be surprised if Kansas State lost, but I got Kansas State winning a thriller.
Me too. Go Wildcats, but dude, Arizona State's going to come to play, man. South Alabama at 4-5, Louisiana at 8-1. Oh my gosh. This is if the Raging Cajuns find a way to lose this game, I swear.
Yeah, I'm taking Louisiana in this one.
Yeah, they should win this one. Texas State is one game away from going bowling, and Teran, I think they're going to do it. The Texas State Bobcats will take on the 1-8 Southern Miss, I think Golden Eagles. But regardless, Texas State, I think, is going to win this one and capture a bowl game.
Yeah, give me Texas State in this one. Eat 'em up, Cats.
Eat 'em up, Cats. We also have number 1 Oregon at 10-0 taking on the 5-4 Wisconsin Badgers. What a fun game to watch there, Teran.
Yeah, at least it's not going to be like Florida State versus Notre Dame, but Oregon's going to win this one easy.
Yeah, I don't see this one going any other way.
Wisconsin had its fun in terms of seeing its basketball team beat Arizona, but now the fun ends with Oregon thumping them.
The fun is over. Sorry. New Mexico State at 2-7. Number 15, Texas A&M at 7-2. Yeah, Teran. That's good.
Ain't this the battle of the Aggies?
This is the Aggie battle.
Yeah, I'm taking Texas A&M easy.
Except for one Aggie is better than the other. Yes, I agree. So, Wake Forest at 4-5, North Carolina at 5-4. Someone is going bowling today, and it's not Wake Forest. And even if they won this game, they're still not going bowling. But I'm pretty sure the Tar Heels are going to win this thing.
I don't know. Hank
No, you don't think
Bachmeyer
so?
is still pretty good for Wake Forest. If he's playing, then I think Wake Forest wins.
Touche. Fair enough. 5-4 Cincinnati taking on 7-2 Iowa State.
Iowa State should bounce back easy with this win.
I agree. That's a tough one. Bearcats had their window a couple years ago. UAB at 2-7, Memphis at 8-2, and they're really cool uniforms.
Memphis looks good, and they're going to play good against UAB.
Yes, they will. The 8-1, number 18. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Wazoo, Washington State Cougars, taking on the 4-6 Lobos. Poor New Mexico, man. Somebody needs to get them a good football team. The Lobos and the Aggies are terrible every year. I really hope that they. I mean, can they get a break? Gosh, damn it! Like, I don't know. New Mexico military. Hey, what, 4 years ago, right? When they won the NJCAA 3 years ago.
I think so. Yeah.
So, yeah, good for that. Okay, that's their claim to fame right there. NJCAA is their claim to fame because they sure as hell ain't the FBS. But, yeah, Wazoo should stomp all over the Lobos today.
Yeah, give me Washington State. Unfortunately, New Mexico isn't playing San Diego State again.
3-6 Kansas Rock Chalk Jayhawks taking on number 6 BYU at 9-0. That's really, really jacked up.
Yeah, BYU should win this one fairly easily.
Yeah, if this is a challenge, either the Jayhawks are playing really good or the BYU Cougars are playing really bad. I don't know, or both. But of course, here, last game of the night. Well, obviously, we got the big one at the Saturday night football game. But San Diego State at 3-6, UNLV at 7-2. Teran, this used to be the opposite way around, and it used to be even closer. It was a good rivalry. It was fun. Now this game is just a shit show.
Yeah, if San Diego State does pull out the win, then their odds of going bowling actually look good because their last two opponents are Utah State and Air Force. But they have to get through this UNLV team at Allegiant Stadium. And I just don't think San Diego State's going to win this one. The UNLV wins this one easy money.
Yeah, it sucks, man, because I've been cheering on San Diego State, but we'll see.
They shouldn't have lost to New Mexico. Had they beaten New Mexico or Central Michigan or anything of that sort, they would be so close to going bowling, but that's not the case.
No, they suck. They make me mad. And then, of course, the game of the day, man. Saturday night football. Number 7 Tennessee at 8-1. Number 12 Georgia at 7-2. Teran, what you got, buddy? I mean, this is a game that okay. It's our only other ranked game of the day. Tennessee has been solid. Georgia has been pretty okay. It's just they've obviously, like last week, and Georgia has seen some games where you're like, who is this team? Tennessee is so weird. I want to say Tennessee gets better, but they don't. They kind of just get good, and then they kind of stay stagnant, and then they go backwards, and then they get good again, and then they go backwards. I mean, Tennessee just can't get right half the time, man. Tennessee is so close. They're like a few plays and players and coaching staff sometimes away from amazingness, right, Teran? But they just can't seem to get it together at the same time. I don't know, but this is big. If Tennessee wins this game, man, they should find themselves higher for sure. Georgia they'll disappear. They'll play a bowl game, but it won't be a big one. And if Tennessee loses this game, I don't know, man. Tennessee, they'll be fool's gold, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you think, Teran?
This one is so easy. I'm going to take Georgia. Georgia hasn't lost consecutive games in a hot minute. And the last 7 meetings, they have taken down Tennessee 7 straight times. So give me Georgia easy money over Tennessee.
I agree. I just tried to build it up there for Tennessee because I would like to see them get a victory like this. But yeah, Georgia, especially at home, not going to happen. But damn it, man. Georgia has every chance. Georgia has every chance to win this game because they're that amazing team that we all know. But same exact time, Tennessee, man. Tennessee has every chance to act. I mean, it's 0-0, man, and I just want to see. I don't know. I want to see a good game, but I don't think we are. But regardless,
Georgia has a lot to play for because if they lose, this could really set them back in terms of the college football playoff.
Oh yeah, we shall see. So, all right, man. Well, there you have it. There are all of our games for the day. Teran, how you feeling about these games, man?
Feeling good. I think we're in for a great day of college football.
I am so excited, and well, it's about that time, man, to cue that music because we're up out of here, man. But that was a fun one today. Oh my gosh, just what a go, man. We got, of course, lots of high school college football going on, coming forth, man. Anything you want to add? Any team, high school, college, anybody you want to shout out?
No, that's pretty much it. I think this week is going to be a fantastic week of college football, and we had a great week of high school football. Next week is going to be dynamite.
Well, it will be a lot of fun, Teran. I'm looking forward to it, man. We have a very fun. I want to shout out, by the way, TVHS. Just to remind them about been that great in this area. Chaparral may have fallen out in the first round, but I'll tell you, man, the 3 Marietta schools right now are rocking and rolling, dude. I'm just, let's go. Marietta, Marietta Valley, man. These guys, Division 2, they're going to the semis. Mr. Marietta in Division 3, which is crazy seeing them.
I might see them next week.
Oh, yeah, Edison, right?
Yeah, I might see them next week, but it's going to be a long trip to Marietta.
Well, if you're in Marietta, man, stop by, say hi.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. So, dude, that's amazing, man. Good to see them up there. Good old Nighthawks. And shout out to Mesa, dude. They're in Division 6. They're also going to the freaking next round.
Yep.
All 3 Marietta schools. Big ups to them. I already shouted out Paris last week, man. They made it to the first round. Los Amigos actually lost last night to Rio somebody. I forgot who they lost to. But big ups, though, to those schools for even getting that far. Hats off to everybody in high school, college football around it. Let's go Riverside. Let's see what they got this week. The USC, let's go. I can't stand you this year, but hopefully you beat Nebraska. I don't know. But yeah, it's something. It'll be a shame if they don't. So it'll be the Little Caesars, no one gives a crap bowl, but who cares? You know, I mean, it's what it is. But anyway, guys, shout out to Seal the Deal Wax Seal, my beautiful wife's awesome company, Planet Jerky, of course. My boy Teran Rodriguez. For me, your boy Larry B. We are signing off. We will see you next week. Until then, take care. And as always, God bless.
Peace.
Peace.